You no longer have to wait to hit 1,000 subs and 4,000 watch time hours to get into YouTube's partner program so that you can start making money as a small channel. YouTube is now giving you a way to get early access to fan funding. But just because you get access doesn't mean you're going to make a boatload of money. I sat down with Rene Ritchie, YouTube's creator liaison, to talk about how you get it and some very important best practices and some things to be aware of. Rene, break it down for us. What is fan funding?
Yeah, so we announced this at Made on YouTube, our event last September, and it's really designed to get people into the YouTube partner program earlier. We know that there is like a ton of creators who are really just wanting to start businesses, wanting to get going on YouTube, but sometimes getting to like the 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of watch time, or like to getting like the 10 million shorts views in 90 days. It seems like a lot. So what we wanted to do was make a subset of the partner program, of the monetization, that creators could access earlier on and either inspire them or help them jumpstart the beginning of their career on YouTube.
So basically, are you taking away the YouTube partner program? Why is it early access? Or who is it for? Like, what's the difference between it?
It's just an early, so basically you don't have to wait as long to get into the partner program. It has lower requirements, but it's also focused specifically on fan funding. So like the full YouTube partner program has ad revenue sharing. This version focuses specifically on fan funding. And I'm going to double check my list to make sure I don't get it wrong, but it's like channel memberships, super thanks, super chats, super stickers, shopping so you can sell your own merch, but also like, also, what I think is critically important is support, like access to creator support via chat and email, and also the copyright match tool. So these are things that are just like provide value to partners. And the requirements to get into this are lower. So you need 500 subs, 3 uploads in the last 90 days. We just want to make sure you're active.
Whoa.
And then either 3K, like 3,000 hours of watch time in the last year, or for shorts creators, 3 million shorts views in the last 90 days. And then, of course, your channel also has to be in good standing when it comes to like community guidelines and YouTube policy and all that. But it just, again, it's like much earlier access to what we think is a really valuable subset of YouTube partner, like monetization potential.
Got it. So it's earlier access, but it's not the full partner program is the clarity, the piece of clarity there.
And I think this is a part that provides the most value to new creators anyway, because like the amount of views and the amount of like ad rev share, I don't think would be as significant as if you are like getting support directly from your audience at that stage.
Yeah. And let's be honest, with a small audience, you're never going to make huge bucks this way, right? But I think in the early stages of a creator's journey, it's really important to keep the motivation alive. And when they're putting so much work into it, and when it feels like, okay, I'm kind of trying to get to that 1K, 4K, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes it can take a little while, and probably longer than most people want. And so I think that this is really cool to just provide a little bit of extra motivation. Even, a few bucks in your bank account from doing this can go a long way to your mindset.
Totally. And there also are some topics and some creators who are deep rather than broad. And like AdSense makes a lot of sense when you're broad. Like, if you're like a Mr. Beast and you're getting 250 million views, I can't even comprehend what it's like at that scale. But if you're like a smaller creator who has like 500 to 1,000 subs, they might love what you're doing. Like they might be those true super fans of what you're doing, and they might be super interested in supporting you through memberships, through like if you go live, through super chats and super stickers, or super thanks for the replays, or if you're uploading long form videos or shorts as well. And you might have merchandise, like you might have all of these things that could make a really good business for you, or at least a really good side hustle for you. And now it's available to you. And yes, they're like, you can do third-party stuff too, and maybe you do this in conjunction with third-party stuff as well. But I think it's really nice that YouTube is making it available, because it's really convenient from within the YouTube interface.
Yeah, absolutely. One question though, you slashed the subs in half.
Yes.
But watch hours just came down 1,000.
Yeah, I
came down by 1,000, not to 1,000. Just
yeah, I think like the important part is to be active. Like I think like the partner program. I don't think anybody wants a partner program where it's like a bunch of channels get in and never do anything with it. I think like part of it is to be vibrant and active, and people are engaging with your channel to an extent that you like the audience needs to be there for you to make any money off the audience, I think is the thinking behind that.
So for the creators who are not to the 500 or not to the 3,000 watch hours, you mentioned the fact that there are other third-party tools. And so some of those might be a good option for creators as well.
Yeah, like if I take off my YouTube hat and I put on my creator hat, I had Patreon and I had YouTube members, and they were distinct communities. And I think it was nice to have like a little area where it was outside of YouTube and I could do other things. And it was nice to have the convenience. I think it's both those things. Like with Patreon, I had there was some more flexibility, some things that I could do, and it didn't have to be tied directly to YouTube. Maybe people didn't even watch my YouTube videos; they just wanted to support me or my blog or like other projects that I was working on. Where the YouTube part was just so convenient that people who are watching my videos and say, "Hey, I really like these. I want to become a member. I want to super thanks these." I think having those options is really important. Having that diversification is really important.
Yeah. I'm honestly a big fan of leaving the on-platform options like YouTube memberships and donations on the platform. Like I would much rather do two things, on platform and off platform. I got this question on my live show recently, actually, is like, why don't you also have Patreon? Because I'm already doing all of the on platform, on YouTube monetization options. And I also have my courses and I have products that I sell and I have services, right? And that's the off-platform monetization option. And those two things work really well hand in hand. But for me personally, I don't then like adding another third-party option in there, another place to put people. So think about that strategically before you make any decisions. And I think that this is a really important reason to build a community.
Yes.
Right? Is like early on, you need to show up as you, not trying to mimic other people, right? And be, I hate the word authentic, but like you gotta be truly authentic if these fan funding options are even gonna work for you in the first place.
Yeah, you've got to make a connection. And I love the point you just made there, because I think that goes to the core of like creator well-being as well. Because it is like, I'm not going to say it's like trivial for giant tech companies to keep adding these digital gardens for us, but there seems like there's more all the time. And then we rush to join them so nobody takes our username. And then we feel like we should be posting here because everybody's talking about it. And it's just like one more digital garden to tend. But we don't get more time the more of these social platforms or the spin-offs or different products that they put out. So we have to be really careful and protect ourselves and say, like, I love that you're not doing Patreon, not because like I work for YouTube and there's YouTube memberships, but that you decided this is where I want to spend my time. And you're thinking carefully and tactically and responsibly about your well-being and how much you can handle. And it might be that you say, I'm only going to focus on these two digital gardens or these two platforms. And maybe it's like, well, in like next year I'll relook and maybe I can handle 3 or expand my team and add more of them. But I think like it's not good to let yourself feel like FOMO of having to be everywhere, because it just spreads you so thin. And I think like just be not selfish, but just be realize how valuable your time and your well-being is, and then plan accordingly.
I love that advice. By the way, if you do want to learn how to create content that builds community and all of these things we're talking about, and not just a channel, I have an exclusive class on this on my streaming platform called Nebula. Plus, you also get access to exclusive training by some of your other favorite creators. Rene himself trains you on how to rapidly create videos so you can be faster about it. Thomas Frank helps you think like a business. Tony Santos with video editing basics, and oh so much more. If you like to see behind the curtain on how successful creators create, Nebula classes are really amazing. And if you use my link in the description, you actually get it for 40% off of annual plans. So what was your biggest takeaway from this video? I want you to leave a comment and participate in this conversation, support each other, and be an amazing community. You can find a live Q&A session with Rene here, and watch this video next on creating a multi-format video strategy to grow faster on YouTube.